Hello everybody and welcome back to Clean Canyon. Today we are finally back in the park. It's been quite a while since the last episode of Clean Canyon in my YouTube channel. This is basically because I, made a little break of live streaming over the days of Christmas and New Year's Eve, which is totally normal, I believe, because, there's family and stuff, so the usual schedule can't be done. So this is the reason why I basically I skipped streaming for like 3 weeks, I believe, or something. Anyways, there has been the contest before Christmas, and for those of you who don't know about this one, I would highly recommend to go back to this video, because there has been 10 absolutely amazing entries into the competition. I'm still so blown away, and basically this episode is all about putting the best parts of those items into this park, actually. So Arthur won the competition, so this is basically the area I am currently doing. He won the contest, and he also has the fortune, so to say, that his part of the park will be staying in exactly the spot he wanted it to be. So what we do is we basically bring it in, because unfortunately I gave you an older park save file of my Clean Canyon file, so I need to, put it in as blueprints. In the end it worked out pretty well. This is fortunately, because I was fearing it doesn't, but it does, so that's pretty good. But it was a lot of trial and error, as you can see. We did this in the live stream, so it was a little bit of fun, playing around with the little elements, like laying out the path and stuff. And I think doing this yourself is also always showing you how much effort people put into builds. So if you just download a blueprint and you struggle to put down the path, this doesn't necessarily mean that the one who did the blueprint did a bad job. It's mostly also about the fact that the path system in Planet Coaster can give you some hard times sometimes, and at the end I am finally happy that it did work out. The only issue I had is with the path layouting is, once you go into the grid, it seems that the grid mode is only available for certain steps of height, so you can't position it freely as you can do it with the normal path. If you go into the grid, it automatically snaps to one certain height, and you can't move it up freely. It will always go in steps, and this is why I couldn't make this fit perfectly over here. But anyways, that's just a minor issue I just encountered, and I think we finally solved it pretty nicely. So other than that, I want to say thanks again to Arthur, because the entry is just amazing, and it does add so much more to this part of the area, and I am totally happy to have this in here. Any other things I want to say about this are basically that he also introduced some interesting new stuff for the rest of the park, like a little bit more modern architecture, and also a little bit more like different approaches to foliage, and also to different walls, which I really like. And as you can see here, I am placing a few other blueprints in the park, and this is what I already said. I asked the people who did the entries if I can put their stuff in as well, so we will in the end have some more stuff in the park from Pittamaniak, from Deladycamelret, from Kirmeswelt, and from, I will put down all the names down below in the description, because I am quite sure I forgot someone, because I totally forgot to note those names down. Somewhere I have this sheet of paper, but I can't find it right now. So see, as always, been very perfectly prepared. Anyways, this modern restaurant over here, I believe this is from Pittamaniak, the one, and this is very, very beautiful. I just did some minor adjustments he asked me to do, because there was still a little bit of a hole in the roof, and I fixed this by just flopping down those pieces a little bit more, but I also left some little spots open because I just thought it looks nice. So that's the only reason why I did this. But you can see also here I am adding the path to it, and again it's a little bit of struggle to put the path elements in the way you really want them. Fortunately, he did a really great job in layouting it, because it does really fit perfectly together. If you start with the little shops in front, as you may have seen, I used the shops to create the little stair over there. If you don't know the trick, It's pretty easy. You just grab yourself a shop and then you move it really close to a path so that it really automatically connects. And if it did connect, you can just move it up. You can just go in and move the shop a little bit higher than the actual path, and it will create a little stair from there. The only important thing is that you just move it as much as it works, because if it doesn't connect any longer, the trick doesn't work. So you make sure that it still does connect, and then you do delete the job, but the stair will stay there. So this is basically how you create some tiny slopes, or just like tiny little stairs, which you normally can't do because the path element has to be at least 2 meters long. And yeah, that's basically a little trick you can always use if you want so. Other than that, you can see this is now something new. I didn't do that in the stream, so for all of those people who have watched the stream, they will now see that I did a little bit of work, you know, in the area. But then again, I also fixed a little bit of the last issues of the Arthur area, because I just had some problems over there. I needed to do some terraforming, which didn't work out so well at the beginning, and then again struggling with the path system brought me into finding another solution for the path layout over here. In the end, I'm quite happy because I got it done with some tricks, and also with some custom path elements I just did out of these concrete patterns. That's the only the only chance you have to make this all look nice and tidy, because as you can see over here, I deleted the whole path a few times to make it work, but in the end I couldn't make it work because I don't know why, but the path system just didn't let me. That's the reason. Let's blame the path system. Blame the system, as always. Blame the system. Anyways, once we're moving up now into the next part of the time lapse today, I said already in the last couple of episodes in different parks that I want to always put you a question in one video, and here's my daily question, so to say. No, my today's question will be, since the whole Clean Canyon Park is really a park which is down to a little bit more cleaner approach, to a little bit more realism, rather than going for crazy fancy builds. So this will be also, as you can see here, the flat ride will be also one of the simple additions. It won't have crazy theming, it will be just a really simple flat ride sitting on this kind of very small lake, waterfront thingy, whatever. But the thing I want to know is, which elements do you want to see in this park? Like which kind of attractions, which kind of rides do you want to see? And also maybe something which is even not in the game. Do you want to see some, I don't know, props you haven't seen yet? For example, what I also thought about is having kind of a little, how's this called in English? It's not a pit stop. It's more like a factory where you can repair your stuff. Is it a repair basement? Wait a second, I'm gonna look this up on my translator, because this is I have no idea which this is, which word this is. Why does my phone? Oh, it's basically a workshop. So kind of, the workshop for maintenance. That's basically what I wanted to do, for example. So having one maintenance workshop would be a nice addition, I believe, to the park, where then we could place down some rides in and stuff like that. So where they get the paint jobs and all this kind of stuff. But other than that, what do you have as ideas what we could implement in the park as well? So like really down to realism aspects you want to see. Not so much, I also want to know which kind of attractions you want to see, but also do you lack some, stuff for wheelchairs, for example, some kind of wheelchair parking, as I did in Koali Beach. Or maybe we need some elevators, for example, for people who can't walk up, for example, like that. Or do we need even a hospital little station, like, that kind of stuff. All these kind of things I really want to look into as well, and be very welcome if you guys would just type it down in the comments below and tell me what you want to see, or maybe which are your ideas about this realism approach. That would be a really cool thing to do. And now let's get back to what I'm actually building in the background. And I tried something new, and I think that worked out pretty well. I used those little flag things to create this little metal wall thingy, and I think if you stick those pieces together, it really works as if that would be really a kind of, you know, metalish wall, even though it's just kind of I don't know, what is this kind of made of? Wool or something? Well, it's basically fabric in a way. But yeah, I just tried to make this all work a little bit more out, and I think it does. So like from the looks of it, it really does work out. And also I made some custom planters, which then again are also a little bit more clean, made of concrete. I used a lot of those new adventure pieces to it. I have to say, the adventure walls are just one of the best additions ever, because they have such a nice concrete look to it, and depending on how you mix the colors, it can be like adventure style, but it can also be, which I really love about it, it can also look like really cool and clean, which is perfect for this park, to be honest, but also for so much other things. So I think those are really nicely usable for like everything, and this is something which I always love, because it's kind of the addition to Planet Coaster we need. We need stuff. Oh, now I hit my microphone again. Yeah, well, it has to be in every episode. Never mind. We really need those things in Planet Coaster. We really need those genuine stuff which we can use all over the place, like in every theme. Of course, we also need theme-related stuff, of course, but I always really appreciate pieces that can be used in all themes, and basically for genuine stuff, because this is what we need the most, like really having, you know, fences like this one over here, which you can use basically in every area. Just recolor it and put some nice style elements to it, and there you go. You can use it all over the place, which is really, that's a cool thing, I guess. So now as we hit the end of the episode, I am finally doing a little bit more of a concrete pattern for the flooring, and I had the problem that this path over here was really different in the way of how the slope worked. So in the end I decided to only go for the left hand side. I still have to see how I do connect the left hand side of this slightly raised concrete pattern, because it looks a little bit cut here, but I think we can just do it maybe with planters, or just hide the little edge over there. I don't know. Anyways, that's it already with this episode. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Leave a like if you appreciated the episode, and yeah, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. See you, and bye bye.